Alright, what is up guys, it is Storm back here with another video, and in this one I am bringing you Mightless, a My Hero Academia story by the Mysterious Banana Part 12. Now, if you want to go check this story out for yourself, the link to it will be down in the description below. But, before the video begins, if you like the content you're seeing, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I mean, they're all free, so why not? If you want some dope channel merch, the link that'll be down in the description below. And, if you want to see more of me, go check out my other channels and go follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which will all be linked down below. But, without further ado, why don't we just dive right on in. It was the big day, the first of class in Yuuei. Tears ran down Inko's eyes as she saw her son, dressed in Yuuei's school uniform, take to the door. "How long have you been dreaming for this moment, Izuku?" Inko asked, shaking with joy. Izuku sighed. Far too long, Mom. Far too long," he replied, turning around. His hand shook as he turned the knob. The old him would have been ecstatic to find out he was making it into Yuuei, but now, that childlike excitement is gone. "I don't particularly miss it, but damn, it feels like I let go of a huge part of myself," Izuku thought, as the light shone through the opening door, creating a gate to his future. On his way to Yuuei, he was stopped by a group of familiar individuals. Izuku smiled as he ran to his former compatriots. "Sachi, long time no see, buddy," Izuku called out. "Yo, Izu bro, it's been too long," Sachi said, giving Izuku a fist bump. "I heard you were joining the League of Villains. Good luck on that. And this is," Izuku said, looking at the girl to his right. "Irina. Irina Van Titty Glorious," replied Sachi in a mocking tone. The girl next to him seemed real pissed off, however, and pulled the man's hair hard, causing him to squirm in pain. "It's Irina Von Tescalorious. Get it wrong again and I'll crush you," she said in a pissed off tone. Yeah, whatever. German names are hard to pronounce anyway," said Sachi, not letting go of his mawkish tone. "So, what are you two doing here anyway?" Izuku asked, letting out a small giggle at the two. "The League wanted to assign me a sort of initiative mission so they could properly observe and classify me. Apparently, my pure awesomeness wasn't enough to convince them. So now I have to assassinate this pro-hero named Acacia to earn their approval," explained Sachi. "And I assume that applies to Irina as well?" Izuku asked. "No, she's my supervisor. Bossy, stuck up, and super annoying," Sachi said, rolling his eyes. "Hey, keep up that attitude and I'm stuffing you into my sock," Irina replied in a pissed off tone before turning to Izuku. "And don't think I'm just some lackey either. I'll have you know that I'm part of the Vanguards, the highest ranks in the League. And I highly suggest you kneel to your superior." Izuku smiled. "You? A Vanguard?" Izuku asked. "Quit lying." Irina let out a rage-filled aura. "Me? Lying? You got guts. Don't you know who I am?" Irina asked in an intimidating tone. Suddenly, Izuku appeared behind her faster than she could register, and put her in a headlock, with a knife pointed directly into her neck. "I don't recall the faces of my inferior, Doll Master," Izuku responded. Irina froze in shock. It can't be," she uttered. "Hero Hunter? Ah, so you know of me after all," Izuku said, letting her go. "Good. Then I wish you both good luck with your mission," Izuku said with a smile. Sachi and Irina froze at the sight of his true personality. After that, Sachi stopped talking, acting like he was in a hurry, and ran off. Irina quickly followed. Izuku gave a smug grin before yelling back at them. "By the way, Acacia doesn't have crap for range and it's slow as hell. Hit him from a distance," Izuku yelled before returning on track. The school of Yuuei was just as impressive as the pictured online advertised. The massive building looked more like a fancy museum than a school should look like. It was like a titan in the fields, claimed by the Hero Association. Izuku traveled down the corridors while looking at the school map. "Geez, this place is a goddamn labyrinth. I can't believe I'll have to take this route every day," Izuku said to himself. Reaching Class 8, he immediately realized the size of the door. "Is this what they call overcompensating?" Izuku said, as a huge drop of sweat appeared on the back of his head. He heard some people arguing inside, and his heart nearly skipped a beat as he recognized the voice. Opening the door, his suspicions were confirmed. "For the love of all that is holy, remove your foot from the desk. It's so disrespectful to the school and the craftsmen who made the desk. You're soiling the school's reputation," Ida yelled. "Like I care, what school are you from, extra?" Katsuki yelled back with a hint of arrogance. "My name's Tenya Ida from Somei Private Academy." Ida presented himself in his formality. "Somei, a stuck-up elitist, eh? Then I should blow you to bits," Katsuki replied with less formality. Ida seemed taken aback from his statement. "You're awful. Do you really wish to become a hero?" Ida said with shock. He then turned around to notice Izuku entering the room. He quickly ran to him. "Oh, hello there." "Yeah, you presented yourself already," Izuku said nonchalantly. "Izuku Midoriya, you received the true nature of the exam while I was unable to," Ida said. "I misjudged you. Well, I hate to admit it. You were the superior candidate," he said with a heavy heart. Izuku put his hand on Ida's shoulder. "Don't worry, I'm sure you'll get better as time goes on. We're all here to improve ourselves, right? To work to a better, more fair and equal tomorrow. Looking beyond who is hero and who is a villain. That's what a true hero is, isn't it?" Izuku said in an encouraging tone, while subtly defining what he thinks a real hero should be like. "Yeah, thanks," Ida replied. "Wait, who's the senior here?" a bystander student said, watching the two of them. "Ah, curly hair," a familiar voice said. Izuku turned around to meet face to face with the girl he just saved a few weeks ago. "Yeah, you, the plain-looking boy," she continued energetically. Izuku ignored her compliments as his eyes stared at Katsuki, staring at him with intensity. Izuku let out a sadistic grin as he blushed at the mere thought of the torment he was going to put him through. Katsuki looked at him while examining him from head to toe like he was trying to solve a riddle. 1 week ago, back at their old middle school, the teacher congratulated both Katsuki and Izuku for passing the test. On his way back home though, he noticed someone following him and walked faster, but however it was, he couldn't shake him off. Soon, his pursuer, tired of following, yelled at him out loud. "Izuku," yelled a familiar voice as he turned around. "Kachan, what are you doing here?" Izuku asked nervously. Suddenly, Katsuki ran up to him and pinned him against the wall. "What dirty tricks did you use to get into the school?" Katsuki yelled at him. "What?" Izuku asked back, fakishly trembling. "I was supposed to be the first and only. My grand plan, you tore them to shreds," Katsuki yelled at him. "I told you to go somewhere else." Katsuki threw a punch at him, but was stopped by Izuku, holding back his fist with an impressive amount of strength. "Listen, Katsuki, I'm not gonna protest against your rage, as I also have my plans for Yuuei, but I will, however, let you know," Izuku said in a genuine tone, as he stopped faking and demonstrated a bit of his new personality. "Set some higher standards, will you? Stop looking down on inferiors while there's enough people above you to blot out the sun." Suddenly, with great speed, Izuku broke out of Katsuki's grasp and snuck past him with great speed, walking away. Not only was this his first time fighting back against me, but his old personality was completely gone. He was not scared for the least bit or shaking. He didn't even call me by the nickname he always calls me. There's something fishy going on, Katsuki thought. "You ready for the entrance ceremony and guidance session? I wonder what our teacher will be like. Boy, am I anxious," Ochako finished. "If you're here to socialize, then get out," said a sudden voice from behind. Everyone turned to the corner of the classroom to find a sleeping bag with someone in it. A middle-aged man, it seemed. He was seen sipping a juice box. "This is," he said, instantly finishing the juice box, "the hero course." There was someone in there, the class thought. The lanky man got up groggily, revealing his skinny figure under his tight black shirt and scarf. "It took a whole 8 seconds for you to calm down. Well, time is a precious resource. You're not a very rational bunch, are you?" he continued. "You're our teacher?" Izuku asked. "I'm Shota Aizawa, your homeroom teacher," he replied, shocking everyone. Homeroom teacher? Everyone thought in the class. "Now change into your gym clothes and hurry up outside," he said abruptly. Meanwhile, All Might was in the teacher's lounge, reading the faculty register. The Yuuei education system is like no other. If I'm correct, today, the home teacher will be conducting a test of our quirks. Izuku finished All Might's monologue as they arrived at the outside yard. "What about the entrance ceremony or guidance session?" Ochako asked. "No time to waste on the stuff if you want to become pro-heroes," replied Aizawa in a cold tone. "Yuuei is known for its freestyle education system. That applies to the teachers as well," Aizawa replied. "Softball throwing, standing long jump, 50-meter dash, grip strength, side-to-side jumps, etc. This country still insists on prohibiting quirks when calculating the averages on record. The education department is still procrastinating," Aizawa explained. He then turned to Katsuki. "Bakugo, how far could you throw in middle school?" Aizawa asked. 67 meters, Bakugo answered. "Great. Then try with your quirk. Just don't leave the circle," ordered Aizawa. Katsuki clutched the softball, channeling his strength. "I'll add a boom to this pitch," he thought. "Die!" Katsuki yelled as he threw the ball with all of his might. 705.2 meters, Aizawa recorded. "Die?" Izuku thought. Wow, that kid's amazing, and we all get to freely use our quirks, you say. This hero course is awesome, cheered some students. That comment seemed to offend Izuku, however. Awesome? Don't get your hopes up. Becoming a pro hero in 3 years? Don't think it'll be all fun and games. The ones with the lowest score across the 8 events will be deemed hopeless and expelled, Izuku explained. The whole group went silent. Huh? Did you say something? Izuku suddenly spoke up, too distracted from the notes he was taking. Izuku-sensei, what a hassle he'll be. I feel bad for any student in his classroom, All Might thought. What the heck is wrong with this guy? Does he show any sense or care? Yelled some of the students in the background. Shocked at Izuku's composure, Izuku smiled. Keeping your composure after all this time. I like you. All calm and composed despite an unplanned event unfolding before your eyes, Izuku said with pride. Unplanned? I knew this was going to happen all along, Izuku said with a joint of confusion. The class, including Izuku, went into shock. You do? They yelled in unison. This is a hero school, isn't it? Did you really think we will just be shot out of a cannon so that we can risk our lives fighting? Frankly, I'm surprised you guys didn't stage an unannounced villain attack or fake a murder to test our problem-solving skills. Making a situation as real as possible can train composure to the point where you become impervious to fear, Izuku explained. Izuku grinned with glee upon hearing this. What's your name, kid? Izuku asked. Izuku Midoriya. Why? Replied and asked Izuku. Listen up. This is a notebook example of a ready hero, unfazed by any desired circumstances. In such, as reward, you can sit out of this examination, Izuku said, patting Izuku's head. The other students' eyes nearly bulged out of their skulls. What? They yelled in unison. Deku, you son of a... Katsuki charged him before getting stopped by several tapes. What the... I can't use my quirk, Katsuki said in confusion. Because I erased it. Now get started, Izuku said, glaring at him. So, that's his quirk. Erasure. The ability to erase other quirks with his mere glare. Interesting, Izuku said, sitting back and spectating the scene. That damn kid, thought some of the students, glaring at him in jealousy. Wow, he impressed the teacher just like that. He must have been a very successful student back at his school, almost like a senior, Ochako commented. Don't be ridiculous, Ochako. He may be impressive, but he's far from a... Don't let me distract you. You do your best, Izuku called out, cutting Ida off. Never mind, he does feel like a senior. Ida changed his mind. Suddenly, Izuku pulled out a notebook and turned to Izuku. By the way, you had amazing ideas back there. Mind if I note a few? Izuku asked. Don't you dare give that man ideas, yelled most of the students. Sitting out of the exam also gave Izuku another perk. He got to examine and study the quirks of the other students. He took a particular interest in this one student named Shota Todoroki during his observation, as he displayed amazing feats and had an interesting quirk to back it up. Eventually, the exams were over. Welp, that concludes the exams, and now to tally up the scores, Izuku explained. Most of the students were shaking anxiously, hoping not to get expelled. As the scoreboard showed up, however, Izuku let out one last bit of information. By the way, I was kidding when I said I would expel the lowest score. It was just to bring out the best in all of you, Izuku explained. The class froze. What? Izuku, however, saw through his lie. Just kidding my ass. You did it because you thought you were being clever after I mentioned my ideas. I saw your documents. You expelled a full first-year class last year. You would have expelled, let's see, Minato without batting an eye, Izuku thought. And that concludes the class. See you all tomorrow, Izuku said, leaving nonchalantly. After his speech, he headed towards the school exit but was stopped by All Might. May I ask why you let Izuku off easy? Asked All Might. Izuku turned to All Might. I noticed something off about the kid. He seemed composed. Rather, too composed. He claims to have predicted this event, but the only real way to know about it is to hack into the school forums. It may just be a stroke of luck, but I'm not taking any chances. I have my suspicions on him, Izuku explained. Now that you mention it, I do seem to feel like I've met the kid somewhere, but can't seem to get a grasp on where, All Might explained. But keep your eye on him. There's a serial killer who knows my only weakness. We can't take any chances. Little did the two of them know, Izuku followed Izuku and overheard the entire conversation. Shit, he's onto me. No matter. I'll just have to take him out as soon as possible, Izuku said to himself. Later that day, he left the building after the first day, with his head notebook overflowing with new information he couldn't wait to share with the League. Yo, Izu bro, a familiar voice was heard. It was Sachi, and Irina was following him. Sachi, how'd the mission go? Izuku asked. Killed the target and left no trace, he replied. You have my right to be impressed, continued Irina. Of course, this operation couldn't have been successful without me. Didn't you get pinned down like at least 3 times when fighting the dude? Sachi asked. Oh, shut up, Irina yelled, pissed off. As the 3 headed off, Ochako and Ito watched from a distance. I wanted to say thank you to him for encouraging me. Damn it, Ochako said in dissatisfaction. Yeah, the dude's impressive and respectful. I definitely misjudged him that other day, replied Ida before punching a nearby tree in frustration, startling Ochako. Just how is he able to figure out everything so quickly when I even couldn't? Just how? Okay, Tenya, just breathe, okay? Breathe, Ochako said, attempting to calm him down. Back in the hideout, Izuku started working on his documents, compiling weaknesses and other countermeasures to the heroes he met that day. Let's see. Eraserhead. Highly agile. Quirk erasure. Skilled martial artist. Aims for weak points. Countermeasures and weakness. Dry eyes. Low lifting strength. Frail and fragile if caught, Izuku studied. Is that our next target? Toga asked, looking over Izuku's shoulder. He obviously is. The man is onto me, so we must kill him, Izuku said. Consider it done, Toga said, shaking in excitement. Don't be so rash, the man's tough. I suggest we plan our attack in advance, Izuku responded. And what if you fail the assassination? Asked Kurogiri in curiosity. Izuku thought of that for a moment, then a grin drew on its face. I have a plan B in case we fail to kill Azuwa. I have a way to not only clear away any suspicion he has of me, but also to boost my own reputation. Maybe even allowing me to access the more secret files these heroes are hiding, Izuku replied with a grin. Really? Let's hear it, Toga said with anticipation. Alright, but first, we'll need a Nomu with high physical strength and shock absorption, the trigger drug just in case, flashbangs, Toga, and a lot of fodders, Izuku said. All of that will take us at least a week to prepare, Kurogiri replied. And that's even better, because from my recollection, when hacking into the school's forums, that would be around the time we'd be preparing at the disaster rescue simulation, Izuku said. Then, that will be when we strike, Kurogiri said. Got it, I'll call Shigaraki for the preparations, Toga said. Later, Izu. Later, Izuku replied with a sadistic grin on his face. 愛してる